Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside.
As the voice said, welcome back, my friends. Aubrey Theote, your host here on The Price of Business, filling in for the great Kevin Price, out on personal business for a few days. So we're going to cover all of your business with you, the listening audience, right now. We've got, it's great to be on the show, great to be here with you each and every weekday between 11 and 12. This is where you'll find The Price of Business, 650 a.m., of course, powered by CBS Radio. And let's see, I'll get all my texts during the show here, so we'll make that happen. That's fun. And then we will actually cover the gambit with you every single day, 11 to noon. So we enjoy you tuning in with us. We love getting your emails. You can always email Kevin at The Price of Business. Go to his website, hit him with an email, and he'll forward it to me. If you got any questions about the show or any of the clients you hear, we'll always be able to update that information and get it to you. priceofbusinesstv.com as well, priceofbusinesstv.com. So we look forward to having you visit that website and join us. And right now we're going to go out and to line 3. Let's see. Good morning. Hey, how's it going? Let's see. We're going to go back to the Barber Racing School. I'm sorry. So let's get started. And what are y'all doing over there at the Barber Racing School that's going to make it interesting for the listening audience today?
Good morning, Aubrey. This is Lynn Fisher with Baker Communications, and yes, we're really excited this morning. Got a great guest on with us, Randy Buck. Is with Skip Barber Racing, and they're a national racing school. I'll let Randy introduce himself in a second, but I want to remind all the listeners of a show we did a couple weeks ago with Kevin. It was about creating the high-performance business athlete, and how do companies actually do that? And as a quick little refresher, we talked about before the game, you've got to have clarity of vision and a goal, and then also commitment to prepare for the game. And as we go through these items, you'll notice that athletes, high-performance athletes in today's top sports, actually prepare and play the game the way successful business professionals, succeed at their business. So, before the game, they're also thinking about developing a game plan, getting in a mentally prepared state to win. And while they're in the game, they're sticking to that game plan and executing, adjusting, adapting, overcoming. And when you think, it's time to quit, those athletes that we all admire and love really dig deep and keep going. And then after the game, it's just as important, learning to learn from what you've learned, right? So you've got to take your lessons and build upon that. And the last thing here is evaluate your success and failures. Understand why you won or lost your battles in the wars. And so, we talked about this metaphor that, sports athletes have the same preparation and same execution as highly successful business people. And one of the great things about, having Randy on the show today is that Randy's the chief instructor for Skip Barber Racing School. And I actually had an opportunity to go take the Formula race school in Monterey, California at the coveted, Laguna Seca racetrack, which was amazing. It was a bucket list thing that I checked off. And we're happy to have Randy here to talk to us a little bit about what it means to be a race car driver and how these two sports and business relate. Randy, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, guys. Yeah,
hey, Randy, good to see you. Lynn, you're absolutely hitting on all cylinders there, and it is Baker, B-A-K, it's Baker. How do you pronounce the...
It's Baker Communications.
It is Baker. It's B-A-K-K, though. Is it 2 Ks?
No, it's just one. Somebody might have typoed that.
Okay, so it's bakercommunications.com? What's
Correct.
that website? Okay. And you're looking at... I'm telling you right now, you're hitting on all the cylinders when you're equating an athlete to the business owner. And then there's also other things that kick into gear, like your referees, your sidelines, your out-of-bounds areas, that are areas of maybe government is here, a taxing authority is there, there's a regulation or zoning authority here, and you've got to work within all those realms and still function and round the corner and know when to kick it down and get going. And I'm telling you, all those things can easily translate to a finely tuned athlete.
Yeah, it sure does. And, I want to get Randy right on the air and get going real quick because, Randy, why don't you tell us a little bit about Skip Barber Racing, and we've got a few items we can talk about.
Sure. Well, Skip Barber Racing School is a national company. We do driver training in both defensive driving areas as well as racing, so we sort of cover the whole spectrum. We've got multiple locations around the country, Monterey, up in New York, down in Florida, Atlanta. And we've been in business for over 35 years doing training And pretty much most of the staff, and certainly all the instructors that work for the company, are racers. We usually typically started in racing. My story is pretty similar. Did amateur racing for a while. Became an instructor. I've been instructing for Skip Barber for over 20 years. Been the chief instructor for the last few years. I totally agree with you guys. There's a lot of similarities to what racing is and preparation and how you deal with the sport that I think totally cross over to business.
Randy,
So
I was going to ask you, do people come to you for training when they purchase a new sports car, or what is your main, is it just for fun? What is your main customer base?
A little bit of everything. We've got people that, like Lynn, that come and, just have always wanted to drive a race car. So we do that. We can train you. We take you from scratch. We don't make any assumptions about what you know. We'll get you into we have a 3-day racing school. You end up at the end of that 3 days being competent to actually potentially get a racing license to go race yourself. Right on up to guys that actually already own race cars that want to learn how to drive them better. We get aspiring kids that think they're going to make a career choice out of it. So we actually do a little bit of all of that.
So, just quickly, Randy, what does it take to be a successful driver in today's highly competitive racing sports? I mean, what's it really take?
Yeah, and interestingly, that's one of the things that we teach, that we focus on, that I would say probably falls under the category of the most surprising by students that come and take the school, and that's the mental part. Everybody assumes that driving a race car is about the physical reactions. You have to train and get your muscles ready and et cetera. True, all those things are important. But driving a race car is a lot about preparation. It's a lot about mental approach. The really, they say as in any sport, the really, really good athletes, what separates them from the average athletes is not necessarily always their actual physical skills. It's very often their mental approach and their mental strength. They have good habits. They practice. They set up scenarios. They outline all kinds of what-ifs, so that when they get to the actual event, they have all kinds of plans to execute. They don't get surprised by things. And then they're also very agile and adaptive, too, because no matter how many things you plan for, something always changes it.
And many times, very much very similar to the business world, as a manager or a business owner, you're looking to strategize where the company's going, mentally seeing your game, knowing where you are strong and weak, and then working to shore up your weaknesses and exploit your strengths. So, seeing the track, I imagine, when I went through the school, I spent a lot of time just studying the layout of the track and just mentally putting myself into the apex of the corners and really seeing where the race line is. And it very similar to business, there's an efficient race line that gets you right to your outcome. So I really identify with that. Help us understand the effect of a pit crew and their effect on the winning and losing a race.
Well, and that's another one. People always see, when you watch racing on television, you always see the driver in the car, and you think that's the majority of what it is. The reality is to get that car to the event and ready to go at the start line for, whatever it is, you got an hour race, 3-hour race. There's a whole crew that spends countless hours preparing the car, strategizing about what the process will be. If it's a half-an-hour race versus a 3-hour race, you have your defined timeline, and all of those people are critical to the success. The guy behind the wheel is the one on camera, but the reality is everybody has their part, because any one of those people, your pit crew, the crew that prepares the car before you even got to the event, any one of those people, if they make a mistake and something breaks on the car, the whole thing comes to a stop. So there's an infrastructure that people never see that's totally important.
Yeah, and that's preparing for the race, which is actually incredibly important. But during the race, it's almost as if the pit crew is just as important as the race car driver. Like you said, if one guy misses, a bolt, or one guy misses a step or their mark, you can lose seconds, which could be winning or losing first or second place.
Yeah, and interestingly, it might not be as glamorous. Not finished. It might not be as glamorous as the driver, but it's absolutely just as important. Every person on that team has their part to play. And in fact, on professional race teams, every person on the team that has a part in the event practices. There's practice for pit crew guys. They go over and over whatever their job is. They go over and over it so they know exactly what their role is. They know exactly how quickly they can accomplish it. And then, again, like I mentioned, they strategize about, okay, what if this happens? We got to go to plan B. And that's happening with everybody in the team, each little cog of the big part.
Lynn, we got a minute left. I didn't want to give out your exact... I'm on your website now. It looks like a lot of great information for everyone listening. Definitely want to check out the website, BeckerCommunication.com. Go ahead, Lynn. Is there a number to call you at?
Yeah, you can reach us at 713-627-7700. And Baker Communications is all about helping companies improve their performance and creating the high-performance business athlete. So just wanted to thank Randy Buck for joining us, and thanks, Aubrey, for giving us some time to talk about creating that high-performance business athlete.
Appreciate it, buddy, and it is a great thing to create. BakerCommunications.com, BakerCommunications.com, 713-627-7700. We'll be right back with more business right here on The Price of Business, 650.